I just came to talk. Looking back at my life, look how far I walk. I be in my word, picking up my cross. Now I seek his face whenever I'm lost. They be telling me I gotta be different. Stay focused, be you.
What up, though? What's going on, everybody? I know I was doing a little series of every design, how the brand started, and every design, and I wanted to explain how I got to each and every design. So, and just give the backstory and also just talk about what I was trying to accomplish with the design, even like, how I was going through life and trying to not seek messages, but receiving certain stuff. And I'm like, yeah, like even receiving certain names and then just throwing a design with it, regardless if it did good or it didn't do good. So I can just, show you guys how I can almost bring like the Bible to life in my own way, right? So, my last video, I talked about how the brand started. I talked about where the name Turn to God came from, which was inspired by Twitter, and the fast that I was on with God that I saw turn to gold. And with my mind focused on God, of course, we end up from turn to gold to turn to God. Simple. Like, it's very simple. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's how easy it can be at times when we're looking for what God has for us or what he's trying to communicate to us. It's a lot of the times it's like most of the time the world does stuff and they dilute what God has going on. And when your heart posture is focused on giving glory back to him, that's when things like this come to life. That's just my revelation. That's how I take it. This is just my personal experience, and that's what I usually speak on. So even when I'm trying to tell people about, not even how to turn to God, or like when I'm trying to tell people to turn to God, I give them my story and it worked for me. And I know that's not going to be everybody's story, but at the same time, I'm like, man, just turn to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, cause it's like, it's been so much stuff that's been going on. And I already know that as time goes on, I'm going to be able to reveal this and tie it to the brand and everything. So yeah, man, with all of that to say, we are here, at our second episode. So we already talked about the turn to God. Now we're about to talk about this right here. I have an old hat, so I'm about to show y'all. The process. So boom. So, of course, most of the time when you have a name, you have to abbreviate it, right? I wanted it to be something sweet. So, let me go all the way back. At the time, I'm not sure if I said in the last video, my dad is the one who actually put together the font, like the Turn to God font. He was up it was like 3 days straight just on the computer looking for fonts. I'm like, nah, that ain't it. So I remember he found the one that is funny. I don't even really use anymore. But at that time, I'm like, yeah, that boy right there. That's it right there. So he actually had more, I don't know, like fire to do it, and it was my brand. You know what I'm saying? So, I love my dad for that. Like when it came to God, he was not playing, and yeah, I just want to have that same fire and that same heart, because it's only right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so with that name, he found that one, and then I was like, we gotta abbreviate it, whoop-de-woo, right? So at the time, he going through fonts again. He ended up finding like the perfect font that I can't even say the name of it. I don't really remember the name of it. I think I might, but that's beside the point. So let me show y'all the font. So this is actually what the font looked like. So what you're seeing now is like the blood, right? So I wanted to add to it. So he found this font. So the font had like nails in it. You know what I'm saying? So the T, the 2 right here is a nail. You see it right there in the 2, it's a nail. And then G, what is right there, the nail. So of course, with Jesus, he got pierced, right? In his hands and his feet. So it was just like, turn to God with the piercing of the nail. So it's funny. During this video, I'm gonna have to show y'all how crazy it was to like try to put what was in my mind to life. So basically I'm gonna show a picture like probably like right now. I was looking for something that said T2G, and I wanted to like, you know, incorporate Jesus and to let them know like that's what, you know what I'm saying, when we turn to God, it's through Christ. You feel me? Like simple. So I had to let them know this couldn't just be no, like another God is whatever brand. You know, shout out to them though. God is dope. But I didn't want it to just be like, oh God. It's like, no, like it's gonna be a clear message. Like you're gonna see Jesus through it, you know, symbolism and all of that. So yeah, it was like I remember I put the crown of thorns, had like a little bit of blood and the T2G in the middle. I'm like, no, that's like that's too much. It's too corny, you know. Because I feel like that's a big thing. Like I didn't want it to be too corny. So anyway, as fast forwarding, I remember it was this girl I met, like her name is Brianna, and she has a clothing brand, you know, shout out to her. Go check her out too. It's called Divinity. It might be Divinity something, but I know it's just Divinity. And she had like some drips of something like in her design. And I was like, man, that's sweet. So that was like the one time I seen like some drips. And it was like, as I was looking through other stuff on social media and like, you know, through pictures, I have like other pictures of like, it had like some paint dripping and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, but those, to me, those are like drips, right? And I'm like, man, I want to give like the blood though. So, you know, I was talking to my graphic designer and I was like, man, is it possible you can have it like dripping like blood? He was like, yeah. So boom, this is how we ended up with this. So this was like the first, to me, it was sweet at first. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, cool. But as you see with this, to me, it's a fire logo. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm biased, right? But this was it. And I realized like when people was like, oh, what is that? I didn't have the turn to God underneath. And I'm like, dang, like, I'm going to have to let them know what it stands for. So that's how we came from this, and as you see on the shirt, to this. So this is turn to God. So, because it was funny. Somebody told me, they was like, man, I seen your brand before. And they was like, what it stand for? Train to go? And I'm like, no, like, what's that? So I guess, you know, for me, it was just like to make it very clear that this is turn to God, you know. So this is where we're at in this moment. You know, it might be a rebranding coming soon. I just, you know, God just hasn't moved me on changing the name or like the design for real. So it's funny because, you know, when I started the brand, it was just called Turn to God, you know, but now I believe that I'm going to change it to Turn to God Apparel. That's why you see in all my social medias is Turn to God Apparel, because, you know, Turn to God, that's like a movement. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to just change it to apparel. I don't know why. That's just where I am. So that's definitely going to be the change of like Turn to God Apparel. And I'm probably going to have that in like my designs and my shirts and stuff like that. So you definitely gonna be seeing that. And it's funny now when you watch this video, you're gonna be like, it's like now you get the backstory to everything. So yeah, man, that's where we are with this second episode. Is the first one was Turn to God, and you know, with the design and everything, and then now we're just on the T2G. So yeah, that's really all I got for you guys, man. I tried to keep it short. But sometimes when you're going back into the designs and how everything started, it's hard to keep it short. So yeah, man, trust me, I got way more designs that I did not even like do anything with, you know. So I'm just gonna be showing y'all, explaining, you know, how we even came there and stuff like that, so y'all can get more of a backstory to the brand, you know. And hopefully that'll help y'all resonate with the brand, connect with the brand, and just understand the brand and even understand me, you know. So I appreciate y'all for watching. You know, a shout out to everybody who are part of the family. If this is your first time watching this video, man, welcome. But yeah, I got some heat coming. I got a event at my church. We have a Turn to God Day every year, and it's going to be December 14th. So make sure you pop out. You know what I'm saying? Pop out with some already have some Turn to God gear. And if you need some, either get some from my website, which is turntogodapparel.com. It's simple. Or just DM me. Sometimes I make custom shirts, which right now I am making custom shirts, and I'm probably gonna have some more videos of me doing it and showing y'all the custom shirts I'm making. But yeah, man, you want to pull up to on December 14th to Elam Restoration Ministries with some Turn to God apparel, man. So yeah, man, I love y'all, and I'll holler at y'all later.
Gotta focus, you chosen. Trust the process, keep it going. Turn to God is the movement and it's growing. Now we about to put the world on roll.